Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome. Good morning. It is 5 a.m. for me. Just woke up, through the wonderful courtesy of my brain, giving me a fantastic nightmare. A pretty strange nightmare this time around. Normally, my nightmares, like, I don't know, they kind of make sense, or they're like rooted in my real life or something, you know? You could psychoanalyze, dream analyze a little bit, and maybe come to a couple conclusions. But this one was just weird. This one was strange. I was going on vacation with my wife. And I guess I took her. Send your member milestone in chat. What are you talking about, YouTube? But anyway, I guess me and my wife went to this hotel that had two chicks I used to date working there, and a chick my dad used to date. And so it was just very awkward. And we went into the room, and my dad, it was me, my wife, and my dad. And my wife was like, yo, what was with all that awkwardness with the chicks that worked here? And I was like, well, you know, I dated the two girls that worked there, and you know, in the past, and we ended up going our separate ways and everything like that, but I wish them the best. And she's like, why did you think to bring us here? And I was like, well, you know, it was a clean break. I have no animosity towards them or anything. And then my dad starts talking about like, oh no, actually they were crazy. It's so good that he's with you because they were crazy, and I dated one of those chicks out there too, and she was insane. And the next thing we know, they were like listening at the door, and it's like he triggered the fucking zombie horde or something. The three of them bust in. They stab him in the fucking throat with like a pen, I think. Pull it out. He's like shooting blood everywhere. I'm like, yo, wait, chill, relax. Like, he didn't mean it. I said it was all good, bro. Like, there's no animosity. They're like, we heard what you said. That's how you think about us. And they murdered my wife, and then stabbed me. They went to like stab me in the throat. I put my hand up. They stabbed through my fucking hand, and I was like, yo, I didn't want to do this because you're women, but it's go time, bitches. And I just fucking like that, like, you know, in the movies where they get stabbed with an arrow, and then like the cool guy is just like he breaks the arrow or whatever. So she stabbed the pen through my hand, and I was like, broke the pen, punched her ass in the face, just started beating the shit out of these three women. Ripped the pen, the pointy part of the pen, out the other side of my head, stabbed the pen in one of their throat, stabbed the pen in another one of their eyes. I was just like going ham, and then I woke up after I realized, you know, my dad and my wife were still dead. And here we are. Yeah, I was like, well, I guess I'm getting up early before work. Why not do a stream of a horror game? So here we are. Yeah, I haven't been streaming, obviously, but maybe some of you have noticed I haven't been streaming. That's because I was burnt the hell out during December. streaming every day was, quite frankly, awful. It was terrible. I hated it. I enjoy streaming when it is strictly a hobby. I have no schedule and I'm doing it purely because I want to. But man, oh man, December was rough, man. Like, forcing myself to stream every day. I definitely am not going to be doing that this December. Props to all the streamers and shit that do that. But like, for me, dude, sometimes I got a bad day at work. Sometimes I'm just not feeling too hot. You know? I'm sure you guys feel like this all the time. Like, sometimes you don't want to get pretty and put yourself in front of a fucking camera for potentially thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or who knows how many people. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes I just don't want to stream. So I've been enjoying my January so far, where I haven't had to stream. You know, I've streamed a couple times. I think I've streamed like 2 or 3 times in January, and I think I'll probably start like ramping back into streaming here, but I do start school in less than a week, so just in general won't really have too much free time to be streaming anyway. But yeah, I have been enjoying being chilling for a little while. But that was my dream. That's where we are. That's why I'm awake, and we are gonna be playing apparently the best survival horror game of 2025. I looked up best horror games 2025 because I've been in like a horror mood, you know? And we played No, I'm Not a Human, and that was #1 on their list for like best horror game. Best survival horror game was this. It's called Total Chaos. I've never heard of it. It came out at the end of November, so pretty recent actually, within the last like 2 months. It came out actually a little more recent. I think it was like November 20th or something. So actually kind of a recent release. And it's apparently a mod. Well, it started off as a mod for Doom 3, which I am a Doom 3 hater. I know some people love Doom 3. I hate Doom 3. I think it fails as a scary game and it fails as a Doom game. But it also has a giant spider boss. Actually, like 2, I think. So that could be why. I could be a little bit biased in that regard. But yeah, apparently it started as a mod for Doom 3. They got a studio, they got funding, and they've made it into a full game. It's called Total Chaos. I don't know if it's on console. But it is. I think it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah. Here we are. We're going to be taking a look at it. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Zane. No, I'm not married. If I was, I probably wouldn't tell you. Just like if I was in a relationship, I probably wouldn't tell you guys. I have made the mistake before of making that stuff public, and even, you know, like doing streams and doing content with people I've dated in the past, and I've kind of learned my lesson. I don't think it's really a good thing to mix the two, so I probably would not say even if I was, but yes, no, it was just a dream. Had a nightmare tonight of a nuclear apocalypse. I would take a nuclear apocalypse. I don't think it'd be that bad. I'd win. I've been having a blast on Warframe. The community is so nice. Yeah, they are. It is great. Had a nightmare that I had a wife, amongst other things, yes. The wife part wasn't even the nightmare. On the Wii U. That's crazy. Yeah, Warframe is great, man. It sounds like you and Honda are kind of in the honeymoon phase of Warframe. You're like right where I was in like June of Warframe, where I logged like 100 hours. I was just like so enamored by it, and I was so into it. Enjoy this time. Like, enjoy the time of just being into the game, loving the game, and don't try and rush it, man. Just enjoy it. Warframe is a farming game. It's like all MMOs. You know, all MMOs are essentially farming games when you get down to it. Whether it's fucking RuneScape and you're chopping down trees, World of Warcraft where you're grinding, you're smithing and stuff. New World where you're grinding, you're smithing, and you're chopping down trees. You know, it's a very common like MMO thing. Yeah, but the grind in the farm in Warframe is thankfully significantly less. Don't know how to level up your MR? Your MR goes up as you complete missions for the first time. You get a little bit of MR. And as you level up gear for the first time. So that's why in the Discord I said, like, really, you want to just be crafting all of the frames that you can, all of the weapons that you can, all the companions that you can, because that's how you get your MR up. You just have to level things up. Every time you level something up to 30, you'll get the max XP for that. For that thing. If you forma it, so you like reset its level, you don't get the XP again. You kind of just want to be crafting everything, leveling everything. But I wouldn't really worry too much about MR. It's good to do it early, but you know, you can very quickly burn yourself out trying to level stuff. If you're wondering like the best missions to level up gear, the best mission you have access to early is on Saturn, and it's called Helene. That is by far the best mission. There's a couple that are better, but they're like very late game. Like even I don't have access to them. So, still to this day, I run Helene on Saturn. Here we go. Survivalist mode. What does that mean? This mode is extremely difficult. Not recommended for a first playthrough. Once you start a game with this mode, you cannot change it later. Resources are scarce. Penalties are brutal. Autosave is disabled. And you need to find records to save your game. I mean, that sounds like my type of survival horror. But we've got a lot of survival horror games to get through, so I'll just play normal, I suppose. Here we go. Getting right into it. I know literally nothing about this game. I could handle it. I had already gone through much worse. At the end of the day, I still had me. I knew who I was. I knew who I was. April of 1972 was when it all began. I was working as a Coast Guard. I received a distress call from a damaged offshore boat. After packing my belongings, I left to attempt a rescue. I'm a little boatman. Yo, this looks comfy. You guys think you could sleep in a boat like this? I feel like I could. Wow. Okay, bro, I turned you down to 70% and you're still this loud. Oh, sorry, 60% and you're still this loud. Jesus. Fucking 40%. Oh, that's not good. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when I'm out at sea and a pickaxe flies through the window. It's giving beginning of BioShock vibes. Like I'm in the bathysphere and the splicers are cutting in.
It's not too late.
Dude, just hanging out in the boat, as one does. I lay on my boat awaiting rescue, but none came. When I woke, I was on an island. Fort, oasis, tall concrete structures as far as the eye could see. A once thriving mining community, now eerily abandoned. Something terrible happened here. I've repaired most of my boat, but that strange signal still haunts me. Someone out there wants to be found. Okay. Put anything in the Discord about the house? I don't remember reading anything about that. Holy sensitivity. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up. We'll do 50%. That's the compromise. Instead of 30, maybe we do a good old 14. That's still way too high. Oh my god, it's way too high. How the hell am I supposed to hit anything? Did I say 14? I meant 7. Take it or leave it. That feels pretty good. Phone, will you get out of the way? Pretty please? Might actually be too low. It's a little too low. Little bit higher, we'll say 9. I have very specific sensitivities, okay? It should do, across my mouse pad, it should do a spin and a half. Okay? That's about good. You finally have it? Like, you put in your offer, it got confirmed, or... What do you mean by finally have it? Like, you're moved in? Like... What do you mean? A lot of steps that go into buying a house. I think you guys said you were buying. There's no other way. Keys to the place. Can't move in yet because it's not really livable. Wow, already have the keys. Jesus. So you guys got approved for financing and everything? What type of interest rate did you guys get for the place? I heard the interest rates are like fucking 6-7% over the... Not like that. Okay, not like that. God. I fucking hate this stupid new generation for ruining 6 and 7. Anytime I say 6 and 7, it's like, God. Sent you a friend request from Warframe? Yeah, I already accepted it. I accept all the friend requests on Warframe. If anybody wants to be part of the clan, the clan's always open for everybody as well. I got a key. They're gone. They're all just gone. My paradise, something's taken it over. This isolation, it's killing me. Letters and information found scattered on 4 devices could be saved in your personal journal. Okay. Inventory and crafting. Press inventory at any time to see what items you're carrying. From here on, you can equip weapons and use items vital to give you a lot. I don't know. I don't really deal with that part of it, but it's kind of been a thing since December. Damn. Fuzz doesn't even bring you in on the fucking financing conversations or anything? Holy. Stim pack? What the? Fallout? I'm playing Fallout. Just when I thought I could escape, they reeled me back in. I saw you. What are you doing, little spooky boy? A rotten apple. What if I eat it? Well, nothing bad happened. Thought I'd start vomiting or something. Ooh, a pickaxe. I'm mining. Vodka. Didn't break open barrel. Okay. Did I break open barrels? Doesn't seem like it. Rotting bread. Man, this is great. There's so much free food. Oh, that opened. Salami. Oh, hell yeah. Now we're talking. We got salami. Primary attack. Press primary to swing your pickaxe. You can swing weapons up to 3 times until you get tired, with each successful hit dealing more damage. Oh, that's cool. I got combos. Alright, you better fucking watch out. Was there nothing in there? I'm guessing since it started as a Doom 3 mod, I'm gonna have to put away my weapon to use my flashlight, which is like my most hated thing about Doom 3, by the way. I fucking hate that. Till April, maybe March? Really? How come? That's very unusual. Typically when they give you the keys, they want you in there like ASAP. I'd be breaking boxes. Meat can. You've heard of soda cans. Get ready for meat can. Disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, my chair leaning back. I'm pretty sure I woke up everyone in the house. Heavy attack. To charge up a more damaging swing, charging halfway delivers a stabbing attack, doing moderate damage. Charging a full stamina bar will unleash a deadly swing, hurting multiple enemies. That was a stabbing attack? That don't look like a stabbing attack. Okay. I got no flashlight. Evade. Oh shit. Fast as fuck. Be evading around, bonking dudes. Save. Unfair. Am I about to throw hands? Needs foreman's key. Why me? What do you think the monsters are? I don't need this foreman's key. I think they're like zombies? Oh! What the fuck? Momo, it is way too late. Stop. Stop. Boy? That's enough. Man is barking. And it's 5:30 in the morning. Well, my weapon broke. That's not really ideal. Like Fallout music. My brother in Christ, that's called old music. Old music does not mean the Fallout music. That reminds me, like, my grandparents would get so upset because I'd be like, oh, I know this song. And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, it's from Fallout. And they'd be like, and then eventually I'd be like, oh, I know this song. I like this song. And they'd go, oh, let me guess. It's from Fallout. And I'd go, no, it's not from Fallout. And they're like, oh. And they'd like be happy. And I'm like, it's from Guitar Hero. And they'd be like, oh my God. This kid only knows fucking music from video games. Good times. T, how many times do I have to tell you about door 237? Because of your stupidity, when we tried to open the security gate, the entire block's grid went offline again. Until you have the wiring fixed, we have to disable all couplings just to open the door. You can't even do your job right. If this incompetence continues, you'll be asked to leave. I will not give another warning. Huh. Well, I've got the key. The problem is 4 remaining. I don't have any weapon, though. Thought I heard a bad guy. Surely they won't throw a back. Okay, well. Is that his actual speed? He's slow as fuck. Maybe he's just not accurate on me. Amen. You're slow as fuck, dude. That's your speed? That's your full speed? Oh, he's throwing shit at me. Wait, what the fuck? You can't do that. That's cheating. It's a weird little dodge. That actually is boomer music. This must be like the starting enemy type or something. He's really struggling. He's trying to throw shit at me, bro. Can you relax? Sequence complete. I think we're good to leave. Oh. shit. He almost hit me. Where's 237? Oh, this? That was easy. The little baby zombie. Dirty water. Doesn't work. It's a shell of a house. Oh. So monster meat. Ugh. So what are you guys getting, like contractors, or planning on working on it yourselves? What's the plan? Being renovated after the past owner bought it while it was abandoned. He got halfway through and something happened to him and just no one finished it. Interesting. Weird. Need a tunnel key. Bro, that we've got stim packs, we've got tunnel snakes. Why did it sound like something fell and blocked my exit? Because something fell and blocked my exit, of course. Silly me. Ba, 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 ba. Turn. Oh, we've got puzzles and shit. We've got puzzles. Knife with arrow down. Wait. How do I turn the arrow part? Okay, well, I guess that's fine then. Omega to the left. Tunnel key. Yippee. Not the scariest game ever so far. I feel like all these games that are supposed to be scary are not really that scary. Maybe it's me. I'm the common denominator. It is very difficult to scare me. Been playing fucking horror games for so long. Might have not been abandoned. It might have just been mid-renovated. So many different stories. Well, hopefully you got a good fucking sale on it then. It's not even done. So what are you guys planning on doing with it? Symbol to the right. Like, what's the plan? You guys getting contractors? You doing it yourself? Oh, and this one's up. Okay. Am I gonna get fucking copyright struck for like the 5 seconds of those songs playing? Oh, This guy's behind me. Hello. Is this real or am I just going wacky? Oh, I gotta hit him with the fucking around the world, 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 around the world. Easy.
You've come here to find something. I believe it is something we have both desired for a long time. Your presence in this place means that you are willing to do what I ask of you.
The hell does that mean?
If you follow my requests, I will take you to what it is that you desire.
What the fuck do I desire? Right now, I desire a gun. A gun would be nice. Oh, this is nice.
This place, this oasis, we've been here before, but it's not how we remembered it. A sickness has infested these walls, but I believe with your help, we can put a stop to it. On the north side of the island, a mine awaits us. We must reach it, descend into its depths, to the deepest point. Only there is where you will find the answers you seek.
So am I just schizo? I'll turn it up again. I know I'm gonna regret this because my ears are gonna explode. Who thought 2 volume knobs could be such a big change? Oh my god, even 1 is a massive change. Yeah, I would take any weapons. Give me the pickaxe back. I had that thing for 3 seconds. They never told me it was durability based. Prescription Prozac 20 milligram tablets. Treatment for panic attacks. Take 1 tablet per day. CW Medical John Thomas MD. Mr. Tyler Cott, maybe? Oh yeah, that's me. I'm on that Prozac. Little psychopath. Nah, Prozac doesn't mean you're a psycho. I've got all this food. I haven't even gotten hit once or had to eat once. Dr. Thomas. I don't know if this medication is working. The symptoms aren't going away. If anything, they're getting worse. The brain shivers alone are unbearable. Please tell me there's something else that we can try. Or would it be so bad if I stopped taking the pills and just focused on therapy instead? Let me know. Thank you. It's like 200K. I mean, 200K sounds like a good deal, but I don't know how much you guys are looking to do in renovations, right? Like, if you're putting in 200K, but you have to put in 200K of renovations, that's rough. This fucking underhaul ski. Renovations get expensive real fast. Like, I did not really realize how expensive they were until, you know, started doing work on the last house. I was like, holy shit. Stim pack. Like, just to do the flooring in just to do the flooring in like 3 rooms, it was like $25, almost $30,000. Insane, dude. They have like a full crafting system and everything here, so... Hunger. Oh, do I actually get hungry? Oh. Yeah, they have like a full crafting system. They have a weight system. They've got a lot of shit here. So there's definitely a lot more to this game than meets the eye currently. Right now it seems like very bare bone walking simulator horror game, but okay. The more you bleed, the less effective healing items become. Damage to foes is greatly reduced, and your health will gradually decrease over time. Alright. Well, I wasn't expecting a fucking ghost. Interesting. Wow, you're a fucking quick boy, huh? Where am I supposed to go here? Oh, there we go. I got the key. So we're fighting ghosts now. Not on the bingo card. Can I close the door? Nope. Okay. Dude, there's 2 of them now. They're in my fucking DMs, bro. Can they come outside? Clearly not. The sun's their kryptonite. Yeah, you can't come out here. That's right, you chronically online bitch. I know your weakness. Reduces 1 bar of hunger. Gives an energy boost. Allows faster attacks. Two bars of loading. Okay, we'll use that. There we go. We're fine. Meat can. Okay. How's that for falling out of my chair? Good way to start the day. It's funny.
Try to dispatch them. You might as well leave them here to fester.
Okay. Crafting blueprint. I figured out how to make a pickaxe. I need wood. What was that blueprint? Is there a way to look at my blueprints? Can be combined with wood, glue, and small wooden handle. Well, I could use that. Ah, look at this. Aha. T, glad you were able to return the contract to me. How would you like to start next week? We have a lot of backed up work we need to get on top of. Last year was hectic, but 86 is looking to be worse. Glad to have you on board. Well, that's nice that it, like, highlights it for you. Haha. Oh, yeah, it definitely does have durability. Okay, well, I did not realize that last time, but now I do. I guess we'll save on the looting, yeah? Oh, shit. Ooh. Ow! I thought I'd be able to roll. Okay, that didn't use too much of it. So I'm hurt, but it looks like the color of the HP is a little different. Oh my god. Why is he? Oh my god. Okay, calm down. Causes minor bleeding, causes hunger. Interesting. So will this HP regen, maybe? I don't actually know. Hard to explain, but there's a house that's like 3 streets over that's like mirror finish version. It's like 700k. Ours is so much cheaper. Yeah, I mean, there's no way it'll cost you 500k for renovations. But, you know, there's a lot of, factors in a home price. Like, it depends on the interest rate as well. You know, if you have a home that's 300k and it has like, I'll do a little thought experiment with you guys, okay? If you have a home and it's 200k, but it has a 7% interest rate over a 20-year mortgage, or if you have we'll say it's 200k, you have a 3% interest over a 20-year mortgage. Or if there's a house and it's, let's say 300k, it's $100,000 more expensive, but it's a 3% interest rate over, over a 10-year mortgage. Which one's better? I mean, it's probably going to be the one that's more expensive, but with the shorter mortgage time and the lower interest rate. Right? Because even though on paper you're saying this house is 300k, this house is 200k, most people are opting for, like, I don't know what you guys got, but most people are opting for like a 30-year mortgage or a 20-year mortgage or like 15-year mortgage. So they're like opting for these mortgages that are going to take a really long time to pay off. Isn't the 200k at 3% 6k? Well, it's 6k every single time it's accruing interest. That's the kicker. Is when you're getting your home loan in order to buy because nobody buys houses, you know, outright. Basically nobody. I mean, if you're turbo rich, you do. But when you're getting a homeowner's loan, you're telling them like how long of a mortgage you want. Like I said, most people are doing like 20 or they're going 30-year mortgages, right? And when you have like this it's going to be lower monthly, but because of the interest accruing every single time, it's going to be like way more. So that's how they get you a lot of times, is that you'll get a house for like 200K, but it'll have like 6% interest or something. And it'll be like a 30-year mortgage. It's like, oh my God, my monthly payments are so low. It's kind of like what car dealerships will do to you too, right? Where they give you a car and you have like low monthly payments, but it's set for you paying that for like fucking 10 years or whatever. And it ends up costing way more in the long run. Also, because a lot of the time, it's not like student loan debt, for example, where the interest rate isn't being added on to the balance after the interest rate's been added on. What I mean by that is if something's 200K and then the interest is 6K, while it's at 200K, a lot of places will then be charging you after that first month, right, where it was 6K, they're going to be charging you interest on top of the new total. So now it's going to be 3% interest on top of 206K or whatever you paid off, right? Let's say you paid off like $3 grand. So now it's going to be you know, your 6K interest minus your 3 grand, which would put you at, you know, 203 grand, right? And then this is how people like get stuck perpetually paying for things for the rest of their life, is because they don't account for the interest over all of the years and how that's like compounding on top of itself, to the point where a lot of people get into these situations where they literally cannot even break even. Like they're paying for years and years and years and years, and they don't even break even. And that's why. So, total cost, like the initial cost that you're seeing on a house is really not as big of a deal as the cost and the interest. Closing fees is another big one, like depending on what closing fees are, because closing fees are the tough one, bro. Closing fees that's money you have to have, like out of pocket. So that's where it could get very dicey, you know, when you start talking about a wrench W. When you start talking about like a 5% closing fee or something like that, and it's like, oh shit, I need 10 grand out of pocket just to close on the house, because homeowner loans do not cover closing costs. That's all like money out of your pocket. So there's a lot of things you got to learn when you're making a decision on the house, and there's a million things I still don't know. And in general, what I would say is, even though you'll have larger monthly payments, you always want to go for the shorter mortgage. That 30-year mortgage might not sound that bad, especially if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to live in this home for like, you know, the rest of my life or something. So a 30-year mortgage, which is very common, by the way, that might sound like crazy to some people. Like, what the fuck, a 30-year mortgage? Very common. A lot of people go for that because they go, oh, well, I'm paying $2,500 for rent and utilities and stuff. And if I get a 30-year mortgage, then I'll only be paying $1,900 or whatever, right? I'll be saving $600. But like, when you get a 30-year mortgage, the amount extra that you pay in your interest is insane. It's crazy. It is like practically never ever worth it. Unless you're planning on dying. if you're planning on dying in under 30 years and you don't have children you're gonna pass the debt on to, then it's actually kind of worth. That's the only situation. Houses bought outright or a lot of paid off at one time, if that's even a thing, sounds less complicated. I mean, yeah, but basically nobody has, you know, $300,000 to just fork out, you know, and that's like a pretty cheap house in today's market, right? Most states you're looking at probably like $500,000 for a house, like $400,000 to $500,000 for like a pretty mid house. God help you if you're in like fucking Cali or New York or something like that, but you know, most people don't have that type of money. You got to remember, average household income in the United States, household, which means two people in the United States, is like $65,000 a year. Household. Bro. And that's before taxes, by the way. That is taxable income, not after taxes income. So, you know, that means the average Joe is making like 33 grand, 32 and a half grand a year. Which probably equates to what, like a $20 an hour job, something like that? Probably in that ballpark. Which sounds about right. So you have like, and then that's, like I said, that's pre-taxes. So 65K pre-taxes is like conservatively 48, 47K after taxes. Assuming you don't have kids and like tax write-offs and stuff like that, right? So like the average Joe has maybe, will be nice. The average Joe has $30,000 of money that they can spend in a year after taxes. There is just no fucking way that person will ever be able to buy a house outright for even 200K. And that would be like a pretty shitty house in most places, you know. So, like you basically everybody has to get like a homeowner's loan. Morning, Jason. But yeah, it's some complicated stuff, and obviously the entire system is rigged against you. Stimpack. Rock. Rather buy a trailer. Yeah, dude, trailers, mobile homes, I mean, I feel like they're underrated, honestly. They get a bad rep because, like, pressing G will throw any item you have in your throwable, distract enemies, or throw it at their head to stagger them briefly, allowing for a devastating hit. Oh. Throwing a flammable item at an enemy will drench them. If they get near an ignition source, they'll burst into flames. Oh, you know I gotta try that. Oh! You like that, bitch? Oh! Square up, pussy. Cool. Trailers, mobile homes, all of that stuff is like actually very nice. I'm happy that we're seeing like less stigma towards like mobile living in general, you know, people like living in RVs and stuff like that. You know that the reason why a lot of a lot of this stigma even exists towards trailer parks and towards mobile homes and stuff like that. You know, a lot of that exists because of massive corporate conglomerates like BlackRock trying to incentivize people to go into debt for 30 plus years of their life to buy a home, or to be stuck perpetually in a renting cycle where they own nothing and they're just giving money to these megacorps or just like landlords and stuff like that. Like that's the main reason why a lot of this social stigma exists. And it's cool to see it like slowly going away and people waking up a little bit more. Because yeah, like the truth of the matter when it comes to buying a house in the United States of America currently is that, bar certain states and certain areas in certain states, it is just not viable for the average American adult to buy a home in their life. That's the unfortunate truth. Is like most American adults are making like 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year. Even if you're making good money, which is considered 60 to 70 grand a year, you probably still don't have enough to buy a house. So even if it's a lower end home in most states. So like these alternatives are really good for like saving money and stuff like that. Even just doing them for a little while to save money to buy a home is big. Like I followed this chick on YouTube and she was living in her car. She just had like a normal car, not even like one of those cool vans or anything. Like a normal car, she was living in her car while she was working full time and she was making a bunch of content and she was just saving. She's saving all of her money, and then so she could get to the point where she could buy a house. So like, it's cool to see. Yeah, there's different tiers of trailers and mobile homes and stuff like that. Fuck BlackRock. Uh-oh. Zach is not suicidal, everyone. Tiny homes. Tiny homes are, they're cool in concept, but they have so many logistical issues with them. Of like having to, basically, if you're gonna go tiny home, essentially you're forced to buy acreage. You're forced to buy land to put the tiny home on. And once you're looking at buying acreage, you're looking at buying land. It sort of starts to negate, depending on where you're buying land, but in most places, it sort of negates. Corey, thank you for the sub, dude. It negates the benefits of all of the savings from getting the tiny home, right? Because like the benefits of getting a tiny home are like, yo, this place is so cheap. Well, once you have to start paying for land and then paying land taxes and stuff like that, you start to basically just delve into the realm of you're paying so much, why not just have a normal house, right? Game is called Total Chaos. Never heard of it. Also, pressing those 3 dots was ridiculously easy since the word description is right at the top. Yep. Yeah, this just came out, I think November 20th. It was rated the best survival horror game of the year. Pressing T to toss weapon will toss any weapon you currently have equipped. Blunt weapons will do a moderate amount of damage, but sharp weapons will impale themselves into your foes, causing them to stagger for a few seconds. Be careful, as any impaled weapons can only be collected once the foe has met their demise. Class Shiv. What the hell? Yo, I'm about to fucking throw a shiv at a dude. Hiya! Yeah, you like that? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh. Who's got hands? Oh. Where's my pickaxe? Where the fuck did my pickaxe go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, isn't it crazy how easy it is to like figure out what the game is because there's like a system in place to tell you what the game is? Isn't that insane? Crazy. Crazy how that works. Whiskey. La lava. Oh shit. Wait, get these guys next to this. Hiya! Oh! What was... Okay. He was supposed to get lit on fire by the candles. He didn't. Ow. That did not work according to plan. Where's the stim packs? Here's one, causes minor. I'm stim packing, bro. Everything has like pros and cons. There you go. So, confirm the candles do not light these fuckers on fire. I thought that they would. Whiskey. Hell yeah, brother. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with my house that I'm in now. I got a 2.9% interest rate, which is like really fucking low. Like some of the lowest that you can find are usually like 5%. So I got a 2.9% interest rate on a 10-year mortgage. And the house was 230K. So very good deal. Very happy with the deal. Huge deal. Great deal. One of the best. You sound like a medicine infomercial. Until you move to Japan? Well, this is my... Oh, we can have quick slots. Yo, W. Oh yeah, this is the last home I'm buying until I move to Japan. You know? Which, like I said, it's a 10-year mortgage. So, assuming I don't pay extra, which, you know, I'm going to, because like once the last house sells, we will have 600 grand we can put towards the new house, which huge W. 666 grand we can put towards the new house. And So we could just pay it all off. But I don't think we will. I think it'll be dumb to do that. Because with an interest rate of 2.9%, it will be less. Like, we'll probably pay off like 100 grand of it. But it will be less money overall paying off the 230 grand instantly as it would be to just put it into an index fund like the S&P or something like that and have it accrue 5% compound interest on average. So I think it's kind of like paying off your student loans. Like, most of the time, it is actually not a good idea to rush paying off your student loans. But, like, people get done with college and stuff, and they just want to pay off their student loans, like, ASAP. Which, like, I don't blame people for that. Glass shiv and a metal shiv. Oh, hell yeah. I don't blame people for that. Like, it's not a bad thing to pay off your student loans if you're somebody who gets really stressed over the concept of debt and being in debt. You know? Like, if it's causing you mental anguish, having 30 grand of student loans over your head or something like that, then there's nothing wrong with paying it. Obviously, like, your mental health is the most important thing. But, like, objectively speaking, if you remove all emotions out of it, if you only have subsidized student loans, they're at a fixed interest rate, and the interest rate doesn't apply to the total. So it is literally more cost effective to pay the minimums on your student loans and then put the rest of the money that maybe you could have that you could spend towards the student loans, putting that into something like an index fund like the S&P. It is more cost effective to do that. You will make significantly more money than you would be saving or by paying it off your student loans. Education should be free. I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel like I can talk about this unbiased, because I was one of the few people that had his student loans forgiven by Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe Biden. Yippee! Joe Biden. Yeah. Me and my little sister both got our student loans forgiven. So I can't really talk about student loans and education being free and shit like that unbiased, because, like, obviously I'm biased. I had, like, I think about $10,000 forgiven. So, you know, would I have paid it off? Yes, I would have. Eventually. But I didn't. You know, full transparency. I paid off some of it, and then, yeah, I got student loan forgiveness. So. But college being free is a tricky one, right? Because, like, a lot of people already are mad at how much they pay in their taxes. And you would definitely have politicians trying to charge you more. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Ooh. Oh my god, you're still alive. I'm sure that'd kill you. Oh, W. It goes right back on the hot spot. You'll love that. Oh, shit. What's up, man? Hold this. Ooh. Oh, yeah. We found the strap. I think in a perfect world, here's my take on it. Once again, biased. I've revealed my biases. But my take on it, in a perfect world, we wouldn't be spending a trillion, quadrillion dollars on our military in order to police the entire planet. Feeling blue. And we wouldn't be sending, you know, millions or billions to places like Syria and Israel. And instead, that tax money, we would not have an increase in our taxes as a result, because our money wouldn't be going to that stuff. And instead, that money would be going towards helping communities feed and take care of their homeless population, take care of veterans, post-military, take care of education, possibly start to assist with healthcare as well. I mean, we spend so much fucking money on our military, you know? That's, and like sending all of this money and stuff to foreign countries that, like, we just don't take care of our own. Even though Sleepy Joe was, in my opinion, a bad president, his paying off college debts was a good thing. Trump should do the same since he's getting a lot of money from tariffs. Yeah, but it's seen as a democratic, more liberal viewpoint. So, like, a lot of conservatives just will instinctually, like, kick away the idea, you know? It's a very, like, knee-jerk reaction of, like, oh, they took the money, you know, they should pay it back. And I think a lot of it comes from just, like, maybe not understanding the collegiate system. Like, an important thing to understand, not that I'm defending people that take out student loans, but an important thing to understand is that the American collegiate system is predatory by nature. It is a system that is ran exclusively for profit. It is a system that is ran in order to create people, young people, who will go into debt and become indentured servants for the rest of their life. That is what the system is designed for. There's a reason why declaring bankruptcy does not get rid of your student loan debt. It's all generated in a way to where high school is setting every single young person up to think that college is the only way to be successful. They don't tell you about trade school. They don't tell you about trading stocks. They don't tell you about other passive income streams. They don't tell you about any of this. They just tell you, oh, you have to go to college. You have to work your 9 to 5. And as a result, you essentially brainwash very susceptible individuals, you know, teenagers, into thinking that that's what they have to do. And then they go and they take out a bunch of loans, and we don't teach basic economics in school. So these students, these kids, really, they don't understand what interest rates are. They don't understand, you know, what forbearance is. They don't understand what any of these terms are when it comes to taking out these student loans. And they just take out, they don't understand the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized. And as a result, you have these students that just keep taking out loans. They keep going to school. Guess what? They don't even know who they are. They're teenagers. They have no idea who they are. They've never experienced the real world. They've had their hand held their entire life. And so that they have no idea what they're really interested in. They have no idea what they're good at. They have no idea what the workforce is like. They have no idea what the, you know, job market is like for various career fields. And so maybe they swap degrees a couple times as they're figuring things out in college, and that adds on a few extra, you know, tens of thousands of dollars onto their student loans because it's extra credits that they have to do. And then that's when you get these people that are coming out with useless degrees, or just dropping out of school entirely before achieving their degree, which is happening at an alarming rate. And they're dropping out, or they're finishing with useless degrees, and they have 30, 40, 50, sometimes even upwards of like $100,000 in student loan debt that's going to follow them for the rest of their life. They're realistically never ever going to pay it off, and they can't declare bankruptcy. They can't leave the country. They can't do anything to get rid of it, and they've become a slave to the system for the rest of their lives. And they are doomed to never own anything and to never do well, you know? And, you know, and those are all facts, what I just said. Like, that is all facts. Now, how you feel about that system is up to you, right? That's the subjective part. Some people, a lot of people on the right, typically, they think, oh, doesn't matter. They signed the contract to take the loan. It says they have to pay back the money. They need to pay back the money. Some people feel that way. Those people aren't wrong to feel that way. Some people feel that because the system is so predatory and because it takes advantage of young people, that maybe there should be some student loan forgiveness, or maybe we should, you know, have a little bit more grace when it comes to things like declaring bankruptcy, right? That's where the subjective part comes in. But everything I just detailed is an objective fact. I mean, the system is designed for profit. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't think our healthcare system, the system literally designed to keep the citizens healthy and alive, and I don't think our education system, the system literally designed to make people not turbo retards, should be for profit. I don't think it should. I think that these should be things that are viewed as services for the citizens, to make the citizens healthier, to make them more informed, to make them smarter. And as it currently stands, almost all of the systems in the United States of America are set up for profit. And they are set up so the rich can get richer and the poor can stay poor for the rest of their lives with the pseudo belief that they can make it. And they can't, because the system is designed to prevent them from ever making it. You know, that's how I see it. But some people are not for it. So, you know, that's why I think it's important to be transparent about stuff, though. Like, I don't shy away from the fact that I took a lot of student loans out when I started college because I had literally no money. Look at that. I was homeless for a large portion of starting out college. I was homeless, and I was working any jobs that I could, and lo and behold, I didn't have a lot of money to pay for college. So I took out student loans. And eventually I got to the point where my grades were good, and I applied for enough scholarships and grants that it was covering my schooling. And now I'm at the point where I make significantly more money through scholarships and grants than I need for my classes. And it almost becomes a pseudo job. Like, I make about 20 grand extra every year just through scholarship and grant money that is left over after I take my classes, you know? But, like, initially, I was not in that position. You know, I was homeless. I had dropped out of high school. I barely got my GED. I was, you know, trying to go into college, but obviously I didn't have SAT scores or ACT scores or anything to go into, like, a public university. So, yeah. Like, I took out a lot of student loans at the very beginning in order to get started, and I could have, like, paid for it, and I was going to pay for it. But, you know, I got that email. Joe Biden would like to forgive your student loan debt. A little email. I was like, fuck it, whatever. A little, you know, Hail Mary. Me and my little sister got lucky, and we got our student loans forgiven. So it happened. I got like 10 grand forgiven. She had less because she didn't go to a traditional college. She went to Paul Mitchell's beauty school. But she got that forgiven, which was like 8 or 9K, I think. Something, maybe a little less. But yeah. The system is designed for you to fail. It is. The system is designed to make you an obedient 9-to-5 wage slave for the rest of your life, hoping that you can have enough money in your 401k and your retirement so that you can stop working when you're 65 and actually enjoy your life for maybe 10 years before you die. That's what the system is set up for. And if that doesn't upset you, more power to you, bro. I think that's bullshit. Personally, I think that is bullshit. I think, you know, to be in a society where people have so much fucking money, and then you have, you know, situations where, like, people have served their country in the military and shit, and now they're stuck on the streets and getting no assistance. I think that's absolutely disgusting. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Yo, this game has parrying. This game's got it all. You can parry enemy attacks with some weapons. You can even protect yourself from incoming projectiles. Time it well. A brutal attack bonus. Also, shove an enemy by pressing evade and dashing into them. Yo, what? Zach for president? I'm an immigrant. I can't run for president. I'm sorry to say. I am an immigrant. Not that I would get votes anyway, because I wouldn't accept lobbying. I don't even like it when people donate to the damn channel. Let alone some fucking corpos trying to give me millions. You know I gotta try this parry, though. You know Papa Zach's gotta try a parry. I mean, come on. I don't even have a choice. I'm legally obligated. If a game has a parry, I've got a parry. Zach is more American than most Americans. You know why? It's because most of us immigrants are more American than Americans. It's because most of us immigrants understand how fucking awesome America is. And the people that don't understand how awesome, like, don't get me wrong, America has a lot of fucking issues, as we're detailing. But the people who have only lived in America and only experienced America and probably don't even have passports to visit the rest of the world, not that they would, even if they could, they don't understand how good they have it in America. Yo, I'm about to parry this guy. Oh! You see that? I parried that shit. Ooh. And then I hit him with the shiv. Ooh. Come on. Pussy. I will parry the fuck out of you, boy. Oh, yeah. You think you're the monster? Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now, bitch. I'm the monster. Look under your bed for me, boy. I'm gonna be sucking those toes. Zach isn't suicidal, by the way. It's okay. I have no power. I'm just some nerd on the internet. Actually make it feel like you're hitting something when you attack. Unlike Elder Scrolls. You mean shing, 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 shing. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, games, first-person games have been getting better, man. Honestly, ever since Dying Light, like Dying Light did it really, really well. We've gotten a lot. Even like Avowed, which I know people were like, oh, this is a fucking Elder Scrolls ripoff. But like even Avowed, Had some pretty good feeling melee. This parry's pretty easy to get. Pretty generous parry. I can craft a knife. A knife plus a butcher knife. You see, if you take a knife and you combine it with a knife, you'll get a fucking knife. I'm over encumbered. Or I'm close to being over encumbered. I guess I'm not quite there. I'm hungry. Yum, 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 yum. The Last of Us? Well, that's third person. I'm not gonna go into politics, but people here being so angry about what happened in Venezuela or whatever is so ew. I mean, listen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but there's a saying that I love. There's nothing new under the sun except for the history that you don't know. Essentially what this means is all of this shit has happened before if you know your history. And I hate to be a history teacher here, but the United States of America going into other countries and taking out their regime in order to install someone else in charge is not new. It's not a new thing. This isn't the first time we've done it. And spoiler alert, it's not the 5th time we've done it or the 6th time we've done it either. We've done it a lot. We're actually kind of known as those guys. So, yeah. You know? Anyone surprised by this? I'm like, brother, have you heard of history class? We have gotten rid of a whole lot of leaders before and installed our own for various reasons. Ooh. Did my shiv break? Uh-oh. Ow! Fucking threw something at me. What an asshole. Ow! Motherfucker. Yeah, the US was literally built on taking down governments, yeah. If you think that we're doing this to be the good guys, bro. Oh, you sweet summer child. You sweet summer child. That's set in 12 years. Oh, dude, Mercenaries 2 also had us taking over Venezuela, if I remember right. It's been a long time, but pretty sure Mercenaries 2 did that too. I'll say about Venezuela is that as a Canadian, the US getting Venezuelan oil crashes our oil prices. What a coincidence that we're gonna be getting valuable resources from the country that we actually just liberated out of the kindness of our heart. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, we just did it out of the kindness of our heart. Isn't it wild that... Oh, man, what a coincidence. We're getting something out of it. Oh, man. That's definitely not why we went in to help. No, we're just kind, man. That's all. We're the good guys, right? Shotgun shot. Yo, where's the shotgun? Where's the shotgun, motherfucker? How are you gonna give me shotgun shells with no shotgun? Swear up, bitch. Ooh. No one paid attention when they were in school, and it shows. Well, maybe your guys' generation didn't. You guys were all on your fucking smartphones. I'll have you know, I got a 5 on my national exam for AP European history and AP US history, okay? A 5 is the highest score you can get on your national exam, so you can suck my balls. All right, I did pay attention in history. Do I remember any of that shit now? Obviously not. But I paid attention at the time. God damn it, I can't hit this parry for some reason. School didn't really teach her that the US wasn't the good guys most of the time. Maybe it's because I went to school in Oregon, but they definitely did in Oregon. Obviously, that's more of like a liberal, anti-America type of state. But in Oregon, yeah, we definitely talked about like Native Americans and Columbus being a bad guy, and we talked about even that like all of the founding fathers weren't good people and had slaves and stuff like that. Like World War II was a lot of like we were good guy, which we were kind of good guy in World War II. That's probably one of the only situations we were kind of good guy. Even then, there's not really good guys in war, but you know, in terms of like Pearl Harbor, everyone was basically like good. But one thing that they didn't teach us in school about us like not being good guy in World War II is that after Pearl Harbor, we literally had concentration camps for Asian Americans, right? And not a lot of people even know that, because that is something that is like not taught in high school. They teach it in college, but in high school they don't teach that. Yeah, post Pearl Harbor, guess what? We became turbo racist towards Asians. You think the Stop Asian Hate during COVID was bad? Brother, that was nothing compared to post Pearl Harbor. After Pearl Harbor, America was so extremely racist towards Asians, it was insane. We literally had concentration camps of Asians. Not to the same like severity as the Jews had, you know, from the Nazis, obviously, but it was bad, man. And it was worse than pretty significantly worse than what, you know, Middle Easterners had to go through post 9/11. A lot of like Muslim Americans post 9/11 had to go through some really bad shit. But even that was not as bad as being Asian after Pearl Harbor. I mean, it was fucking bad, dude. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of history that you gotta delve deep in. Yeah, Oregon is very liberal. They're way more liberal than when I grew up there, but Americans were bad to the Indians while acting like the natives were nice to each other will always be funny. They were ruthless, but we had guns. I don't think anybody, I don't know, when I was being taught in school, I wasn't taught that Native Americans were some like fucking peaceful, loving people. I mean, maybe if you like got your history from watching fucking Pocahontas or something, but like in class, I remember them being pretty honest about it. Now, my grandma, she's Native American. I'm Native American and Irish. My grandma, she would spin me some straight up Pocahontas horse shit for how nice Native Americans were and stuff like that. But in school, I didn't really have that too much. Of course we were brutal. Yeah. When you're the winner, you write history in any way that you wish. Yeah, I mean, that was true, way more true back in the day. Nowadays, it's not really possible because of everybody having the ability to post shit online. You know? It's like, you can try and shut it down, but it will still get out. A great example of that recently is the Russian-Ukraine war, where everybody was trying to paint the Ukrainians out as the good guys. But even then, we would still get a lot of video footage of, like, terrible atrocities that the Ukrainians were doing to their own citizens or doing to Russians. So, like, I think that in today's day and age, it's a lot less true that history is written by the victor, just because even, you know, in countries across the entire planet, you can get almost one-to-one transfer of intelligence to, you know, all of Twitter or whatever. Does a lot of that stuff get taken down? Absolutely. 100% it does. But if you know where to look, you can usually acquire all of the information, all of the videos, and all the photos and stuff like that. So, and I saw some terrible shit coming out of Ukraine. I saw Ukrainian soldiers making roadblocks and gunning down any cars trying to escape the cities because they were doing mandatory drafts. They were gunning down civilians. I saw videos of Ukrainian soldiers laughing as they were torturing Russian soldiers. One of the videos was fucking real bad. These Ukrainian soldiers had essentially like a prison convoy of Russian soldiers that they had captured, and they seemed to be like pretty chill with them. They let them out, and then one of the Ukrainian soldiers just shot one of the Russian prisoners in the fucking like ankle with his AK. Basically blew his fucking leg off. The guy like fell on the ground. His leg is hanging on by just some tendons and some fleshy bits. And all the Russian soldiers are like freaking out, you know, but they're like not running because they don't want to get gunned down. All the Ukrainian dudes are laughing their ass off. In some of the comments, I saw people doing rough translations, and they were saying, like, did you really think that we would let you, you know, get out alive after what you've done to our land and after what you've done to our families and shit like that? So it's like, you know, and vice versa. There's a lot of videos of fucking Ukrainians getting drone striked or missile striked or whatever in their homes and innocents dying, you know? So it's like, you know, basically, there's no good guy in war. Crazy concept. Unfortunately, that will get you called a fence sitter in today's day and age because you have to pick out a fucking side for some reason instead of just saying it how it is, which is that both sides are doing fucking awful things to each other. So, yeah. Yeah, but I think the Russian-Ukrainian war is a great example of you can have an entire media, like you can have all of the media and all of the leadership and stuff trying to force a narrative that Ukraine is the good guys, they're these innocent guys and they're doing nothing wrong and they're just trying to defend themselves and stuff like that. And you can have them all perpetrating that narrative, but because of the access to information that we have in today's day and age, you can find out the real story quite easily. Now, don't take this as me defending Russia. I'm not. Like, they most definitely did invade. And, you know, Putin is, like, a piece of shit. And Russia is a communist country. And if you talk bad about Putin in Russia, guess what? You end up disappearing. You talk about being pro-LGBTQIA2S+, whatever the fuck the acronym is. Over in Russia, they'll have you disappear. You're openly gay in Russia, they'll have you disappear. I mean, you know, the country is definitely, like, not great. just like China. Like, it's a communist state. It's real bad. But, you know, to paint one side out as the good guys when there's all these videos of, like, captured soldiers being fucking tortured and stuff, and them gunning down their own civilians because they don't want to fight in the war or whatever, they want to escape with their families, is, like, pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. Like, most people won't put in the effort. That's true. But, I mean, most people are fucking retarded anyway. So, I try not to hold myself to the standards of the average Joe, because the average Joe is a retard. I try and be better. So, I like to be, like, if it's something I even remotely care about, I like to be informed. And I like to make sure I'm accessing all of the information possible from as many different viewpoints as possible to have the most well-rounded view of everything. And, it doesn't really concern me, like, what the average Joe thinks, because like I said, I think the average Joe, for the most part, is kind of a retard. So... I don't hold myself to their standards. I hold myself to my own standards, which are significantly higher. I live the exact distance from my grandparents as the capital of Ukraine is from Moscow. They're fighting over literally a 7-hour drive worth of land. Oh, they're retarded. I mean, I get not wanting your country invaded. I get that. But, at the same time, I don't think that excuses the atrocities that I saw them doing. I mean, just in general, I think that drafts are stupid. I've always thought that drafts are stupid. You shouldn't... If somebody doesn't want to fight in your military, you shouldn't want them in your military. Because they're not going to be great soldiers, man. They're not going to be reliable. They're not going to be trustworthy. And the draft, it just consumes typically young men for the purposes of fat, rich, lazy, oftentimes crooked politicians and their interests. And a lot of the times, if you're a young man, you're like, yo, I don't want to fight in this war. I'm fucking 18. I got a girlfriend. I want to, like, get married to her. I want to have kids. So, yeah, you try and fucking leave the country because you know that your government is forcing you to be conscripted into a fight that you don't agree with and you don't want a part in. And, yeah, then you have your government fucking gunning down people trying to flee. And, like, I think that that's despicable. Personally. That hurts, hearing it from someone who's on the spectrum. Listen, I'm a retard. I'll be the first to admit it. I am a retard. Okay? I have autism spectrum disorder. I'm an actual diagnosed by a licensed psychiatrist retard. Okay? And I'll be the first to admit it, that I'm a retard. Okay? That's why I put in the channel bio that I'm autistic. I want everyone to know they're coming into a retard stream. Okay? But I'm still not as retarded as the average Joe. You know, socially, I'm more retarded than them. Don't get me wrong. Socially, I'm basically like fucking Sloth from the Goonies, drooling all over, you know, having zero ability to, like, form meaningful relationships with other human beings or, you know, connect on an emotional level at all. But when it comes to knowledge and just, like, practical, rational, critical thinking capabilities, it's not that hard to be better than the average Joe. And I pride myself on that. I pride myself on rational, logical, critical thinking. You know, I try to not have opinions on things unless I'm informed. That's my take. And that's what I always encourage people. And, like, I never understand why how people can be so passionate about things that they know so little about. Which is also why I don't talk to minors. because they're simultaneously the most opinionated, passionate individuals while also being the most fucking retarded because they have zero life experiences and like zero knowledge to base anything on. We're coming back to save because I have to work. So, it was fun streaming, guys. I know I haven't been streaming for very often so far in January. I've been chilling ever since December, where I streamed every single day, which was pain. But yeah, been chilling, and it's nice to just stream whenever I actually want to or whenever I have time. So that's what I'm gonna continue doing going forward. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the streams every day of December. Because that's literally never happening again. That shit was awful. I don't know how people be streaming 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. These people are fucking psychopaths. Nah, bro. I'ma stream very rarely when I want to, and that way I can guarantee they're gonna be banger streams. You know, we're gonna be talking about politics. We're gonna be talking about Sleepy Joe, Putin, Russia-Ukrainian war, Native Americans scalping each other. I mean, this has been a great stream, guys. We've really covered a lot of bases. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Hopefully you guys all have a great day. And yeah, next stream will be, who knows? We'll see. But we'll probably be playing more Total Chaos. Game's been pretty fun so far. We're still very early into it because of all the yapping, but I do love myself a survival horror. Hopefully it gets a little scarier, or they throw more enemies or something. That like enemy types. But anyway, have a good one, everybody. Take care. Bye 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 bye.